Hello, soul family.
How are you guys doing? We'll wait for a few people to jump online.
We're so excited to connect with you guys today. Who's here? Let us know. We see some beautiful, familiar faces. This is a very powerful, very important, much needed transmission. And while we're waiting for other members of our soul family to come in, just open your hearts. Allow yourself to just sit in a moment of grace, in a moment of peace, in a moment of stillness. Allowing all density, all that's no longer needed, to just lift off, clear off. This is actually sage with dragon's blood. It's very, very powerful for protection, for cleansing the aura, for lifting off any density, any negativity. How have you guys been? So many beautiful faces. So this is a very, very important update, guys. And 2025 has honestly, it's honestly showing us that there's no kidding around. Like 2025, how has it been for you guys? For Siman and me, there's so much we need to share. 25 literally feels like, I can't believe it's only the 10th of January today. The intensity of 25, do you guys feel it? Do you guys feel how fast forward and forward momentum 2025 is already feeling like? Like even in our own personal lives, how was last week for you guys? Last week, Siman and I have been going through some major ascension upgrades. These are not like normal ascension upgrades. We were both for a couple of days, 3-4 days, we hardly wanted to eat anything.
Somebody just said, I'm in the hospital and I can hardly eat anything.
Oh my God, why hospital though? So I hope you get out of there soon, sending you a speedy recovery. But for Siman and me, it's literally been lack of appetite, major cosmic energies coming in from the sun. We feel the angels. Literally, we feel like angelic support in activating our DNA and activating our bodies. Something's happening in the physical body. Do you guys feel it? Yeah, Janice says.
Many people are commenting.
Ooh, I know. 25 is crazy.
Yeah, many people are saying they're not feeling like eating solid foods
and
at
you know
all.
why that is? Siman and I are the same. Like we're drinking juices. This is literally our breakfast. Sometimes green juice, sometimes like a light fruit toast or something simple, or hummus.
And some days we just feel like not eating at all, just minimal liquids, because our bodies are changing very fast. And what's happening right now on January 7th, for those of you who follow the Schumann resonance charts, the Schumann resonance is it's an indicator of the galactic frequencies that are being bombarded on Earth by the sun. And on January 7th, there was a blackout in the Schumann resonance chart. Whenever there's a blackout, it means we've jumped a major timeline. So the reason many of us are feeling like this lethargy and body going through physical upgrades is basically because we've jumped into a much higher timeline since the beginning of this year on January 7th. And this is mostly related to our bodies going from carbon to crystalline. That's why we're less attracted to food during this transition and more absorbing the sun. If you absorb the sunlight, like Eldora and I do almost every day, just bathe in the sun for 10-15 minutes, you'll start absorbing these frequencies in your cells and activating your DNA. And by, over time, our guides are telling us after a few decades, humanity will have minimal need for food. We'll be surviving off light. So we're going into a very exciting phase of our evolution, and there's major changes ahead, but there's also major work ahead for us.
Oh wow, Darth Vincent says the same day the LA fire started again. Holy shit.
LA fires. I wanted to take a moment to send our condolences to all the people who have lost your homes. There's so much fire and devastation. And for those of you who are wondering if there's so for those of you who are completely clueless about what we're talking about, Malibu is completely under forest fires. But people say that, oh yeah, California forest fires are very common, and they would say that the wind blows in this direction and the whole neighborhood gets burned down. But there's actually sinister agendas behind these fires, similarly to how there was a sinister agenda behind the Hawaii fires. So what's happening is, if you look at the global big picture of the Cabal and the elite and the dark ones, they're planning to level the whole Malibu area. This was part of their plan. They want to level the whole Malibu area so they can set up the grounds for the 2028 Olympics. Okay? So this is how these guys operate. They're planning to level down society bit by bit so they can build these technological cities and create tighter control grid structures in those cities. And the elite are also buying large swaths of land after these fires. So they burn down the fires. Another thing that happened just before the fires, the insurance company changed their clause so that people who suffer from a fire loss are no longer covered. So these thousands of people who are losing their homes, they're without any coverage. They're homeless. So right now, there's a lot of sinister agendas. We just need to be aware of this, and we need to support each other as much as possible. And we're not alone in this, you guys. We can only do this once we unite and help each other in any way possible.
And you know, it really ties into what's happening on this planet on a bigger scheme. Like all of this 2025, we've been saying for the last year or so, is going to be intense. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be very chaotic, especially for those who are not in new earth frequencies yet. We've been saying this, but to see it actually happening and speed up and fast forward is something else. So let's get started. We love you guys so dearly. We're feeling so much love in our hearts right now. We're feeling so connected with you all. Siman and I have received a major cosmic update, and looks like many of you have received that in the last few days. We've been so activated. 2025 feels like a very, very highly activated year. Our cells are buzzing at a different frequency. Do you guys feel it? Like we're feeling like we've suddenly amplified, and our DNA has just overnight, like all the work we've been doing for the last 10 years has suddenly kicked into effect in 2025. And we're being told that this year, our divine mission is just like, we keep being shown gears changing, like for all of us. So this brings us right smack into this galactic update we want to share with you guys. Don't forget to hit the like button, please. We request you all to do that for all of our videos, because our ultimate goal is for all of these videos to reach as many light workers as possible. Because right now, and this video will really seal this home, all of us really need to come together, because ultimately it's not like Christians versus Jews versus someone else. It's all light and dark. It's like there's only two factions on the planet right now.
Versus the ones who want to take away our freedom.
Yes. So please like this video, subscribe to get notifications on future videos and whatnot. We already have like so many videos coming, because I feel like the momentum of the light is just really up-leveling in 2025. So Siman and I have been really busy. We had our ascension symptoms. We did a few one-on-one healings this last week. And you know, we were wondering why we were suddenly guided to start doing these one-on-one healings. It's really giving us a solid connection to what humanity needs. Because sometimes Siman and I can sit in our bubble and we may lose touch with the real needs of humanity. And our healings have been so, so, so powerful. It's blowing our own minds. And so yeah, we did a couple of those this week. We've been so, like with Ascension Symptoms, we're preparing for House of Ra Ascension Festival. So I wanted to share with you guys something we just confirmed, because we do everything as we get the guidance. For those of you coming, you guys are going to love this. And for those of you on the fence, you guys are going to love this. We can't wait to see you all. So yesterday we confirmed the first 2 days plan. So the first evening when you come in, we're going to have a group dinner. That's the day of heart expansion. We're all meeting. This is at the House of Ra Ascension Festival. I'll tell you about it later if you haven't heard of it. Details are at houseofra.com. But the first day is all about pampering, receiving, heart opening, connecting, sharing. Like it gets very, very, like we have candles and all of that. The second morning, so the April 10th, which is the second morning, we just confirmed, like we got the download that start all these people off by clearing the density. So even before we start the journey, we got this download to do a Mayan clay ceremony on the very first day, on April 10th. So we go in the ocean at sunrise, we connect with the energies of the sun, we do some kind of a pineal gland activation, or we really receive these frequencies. We have a few shamans coming in to do a proper Mayan clay ceremony, a purification ceremony. We call in the ancestors. It's like an hour and a half long. And then we go in the ocean together at sunrise. We wash off all the clay. We feel so light and so energetically prepped. And then we have breakfast. And then we go right into our angel ceremony where we call in the angels and the ascended masters.
And we set up a Metatronic temple.
We create the temple for the experience. And Siman and I had chills yesterday when we were planning this, because it really starts to hit us. When we get into House of Ra planning mode, it really starts to hit us, because when we go into the angel ceremony, we call in the angels, we create the Metatronic temple, and then we ask you all to lie down and give you a quantum healing. You're going into the whole experience of House of Ra with so much density just taken off you. So much of your trauma, your heaviness, your density just taken off your light body. So we're very, very excited, guys. This time it literally feels like we've done 3 House of Ra festivals, but this one is the most unique one yet. There's so many, I'll keep filling you in. Whatever downloads we get, we'll keep filling you in.
And the reason we do the angel ceremony on the second day is because many people who are arriving with so much density or so much heaviness from their regular lives, their regular routines, the stress of life. But we also carry a lot of implants and entities that are dissuading us and keeping us from doing our light work and keeping us in lower frequencies. And this is something we're talking about in today's video, about the invisible frequency fence that we call the matrix. What is that? How does it operate? But beyond going into the understanding of how the matrix operates, it's really, really important for us to right now jump in and do the work. And that's what House of Ra is created for. It's not just a festival where you come to dance and play. It's all fun too. But beyond the fun, we actually get to work. We get to light work. We clear your light bodies of all of these higher dimensional negative distortions so you can really rise and shine into your highest power. And that's our intention.
I love that. And so yesterday, the guides actually gave us a one statement, and I'm curious to what you guys think. So I'm going to talk about what we're going to cover in this video. But yesterday, the guide said 2025, and you guys are ready to type? Tell me the one word. 2025 is the year of what? It's a one word. I actually had the wrong word. When they said, what is it? I said abundance. It's not that. It is that, but it's a lot more than that. What is it? What is 2025?
What is the main theme of 2025?
Tell me. Let's see if any of you get it right away. What is the main theme of 2025? It's one word. And while you're typing, I'm going to tell you what we'll cover in this video. So in this video, we're going to cover, okay, someone said light, exposure, awakening. That's not the word the angels gave me, not yet. Who else?
Transformation, somebody said.
Transformation, that's the one.
Who's that? Sabrina Moonstar, yes.
That's the word.
Expansion, transformation, remembrance, rebirth, yes.
They said 2025 is the year of transformation. And it really, really hit me. So anyway, we're going to talk about all of the transformations waiting for us. All of it, yes. Coherence, ascension, the new earth, freedom, unity, yes. I love you guys' comments.
And I want to add the comment that people who are just saying it's the year of disclosure and the truths being disclosed, all of that's fine. That's going to continue. The truths are going to be disclosed for the next 5 years. But people who are really sharp, people who have their eye on the trends, people who know that right now their transformation should be their highest priority, and that's what's going to make them jump ahead of the curve in the next few years. These are the new earth visionaries and leaders, and we need more people who are focused on their transformation.
So true. This is what we see in our one-on-one healings as well. Everyone's focused on what is my soul's mission, or where am I from? Am I from Sirius? None of this is important. Like, where am I from is not important. Actually, what you are becoming and what you're going to do about this life and where you're taking it is the focus. So in our one-on-one healings, we're able to focus people with all the directions they're going into, what's really important. And so we've also, guys, we just want to say we're so also excited. In 10 days, we're about to launch Metatronic. We're about to start our first training program of Metatronic Healers Academy. Like, we're on fire. The vortex is on fire. Our students are on fire, and we are just, we've never felt this activated.
It's a very exciting time to be in our vortex.
And for those of you waiting to get on your soul's mission, I can tell you, I cannot wait for you guys to feel the euphoria that Siman and I feel. You know why we're not eating? Euphoria is feeding us. We're always in euphoria, morning, noon, night, all day, 24 hours a day. Sometimes, of course, the ascension symptoms are like, oh, my stomach hurts, my spine hurts, like the last few days. But the euphoria is the dominant reality.
The other day, I was in an opposite mood. I was going through so much ascension symptoms that I needed fried rice.
Yes.
So we have both days, just so you know. But mostly, we're like eating less.
Yeah, we're hardly eating anything. Okay, guys, so what are we going to cover in this video? This is a very important transmission. I say that because this transmission, what our intention for it is to really speak in a way that we go slow, because what we're realizing when we see one-on-one clients is a lot of the information is going past people. They're not absorbing what really needs to be absorbed, but they're absorbing only what their mind is available to absorb. So in this video, I really want you to, of course, stay till the end, because this one, our intention is to, it's like you're getting a free ascension coaching. You're getting a DNA activation just with this transmission, because we're going to give you the mechanics of the ascension. All our videos do that. And in fact, this year, all our videos are going to amp up this very frequency. So anytime you watch our videos, have the intention that this is your higher self setting up milestones for you, cheat sheets for you, little whispers to you to activate you. This is like you paying $10,000 for a master ascension coach to motivate you. A lot of ascension coaches charge like $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 to motivate people, because motivation is what comes hard, okay? So what are we going to cover in this video? We're going to talk about what is the matrix. It is very important for us to understand how the matrix works, to even understand that we're surrounded by this frequency controlled prison that humanity is not even aware of. We're going to give you guys a global current events update that really shows you the signs that the matrix is crashing right before our very eyes. It's not happening in the future, it's happening now. We're going to give you a galactic perspective on what's next for humanity, and the role of the Starseeds and Lightworkers through this transition, and how powerful our roles are. We're not just here meant to sit and worry about what planet we're from, or when disclosure is happening, or when we can remove the popcorn and eat it when disclosure happens. No, there's a bigger purpose that we're being reminded of, that we're going to remind you today. And what else? So yeah, absorb to the end. So we're going to start with what is the matrix, and this video will be about an hour, maybe an hour 15 minutes long. I don't think we can do shorter than that, but let's get right to it.
Okay, so we'll start with what is the matrix. Many people think of the matrix as this controlled illusion that is governed by the shadow government, which is corrupt politicians all around the world. There's the military industrial complex, there's religion, which controls people through fear. There's the banking system, which keeps us in poverty. But beyond that, how did this matrix actually originate? How did this matrix come into being? Was Earth always like a dark prison, or what happened, right? So 25,000 years ago, we were in the golden age of Atlantis. And in the golden age of Atlantis, we were fully functional divine light beings. There was both elements of dark and the light on this planet, but the humans who were fully activated and fully evolved, they were the high priests and high priestesses of the temples of Atlantis, and they would dedicate their lives to higher service and raising their frequency. That was their only life's mission, and they used to be channels of the divine, channeling the divine frequencies and holding the grids of planet Earth so that humanity overall can ascend. But what happened is Atlantis was a very technologically advanced civilization. They had crystal technologies. They could move very heavy objects with like sound frequencies. They could build monumental structures. They could build like 80 feet crystals and do very powerful operations with them. Their entire city grids used to be powered by crystals. And it was a galactic civilization. However, there were both negative and positive factions of extraterrestrials. The Anunnaki were a negative extraterrestrial civilization that coexisted with humanity. So approximately 25,000 years ago, a war broke out, a galactic war between the negative factions of the ETs, which were the Anunnaki and the Orions, and the positive factions, which were mainly the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Andromedans, and the Arcturians, and many more. I'm just naming the top few. So the war was all about control for planet Earth. And these negative beings, for them, it's not about, they're not interested in Earth's resources. The highest valuable resource on this planet is not gold or diamonds, it's humans, it's human DNA. And many of these ETs are actually envious and jealous of humanity because we, genetically speaking, are a much higher and more advanced species than the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki have limited their evolution because they're negative beings and they cut themselves off from source. So some of these ET races actually depend on humans for their energy. So what they wanted to convert this planet, the dark actually beat the light 25,000 years ago in the Galactic War.
So just absorb this really. There was a galactic war 25,000 years ago in Atlantis. I just want you guys to absorb it. Because of how our one-on-one healing clients, we're noticing how little is absorbed. I want to go really slow. 25,000 years ago, we were all in Atlantis. Many of us were advanced souls. We were very activated. We had our 12-strand DNA activated. We used to teleport, and we had advanced psychic abilities.
We could shape-shift.
We were like gods. Not all of us, some of us. Many of us are here. Some of us are on the planet here today. Not many of us are activated back to that potential, but that's where we're going. Now, in that time, what happened in the times of Atlantis 25,000 years ago, the majority of the population, the majority of humans got really arrogant with the powers. Like, you know, when humans get arrogant, we're like, oh, we're the shit. We got really arrogant. And our arrogance is what created the matrix today. Our arrogance is what helped us work with these dark overlords and said, hey, we're going to do anything for power and fame and success.
And we don't need God in the picture.
And we don't need God because God gives us all these rules. We can't like just, do whatever we want and build our wealth. We have to follow these universal laws. No, we'd rather work with the extraterrestrials. So 25,000 years ago, a long story short, you can continue.
Yeah, so the galactic battle ensued and the dark beat out the light. And for the next 25,000 years, what happened is there was a fall in consciousness. There was a great flood that occurred approximately 15 to 13,000 years ago. It wiped out entire civilization. And then humanity was reseeded. But when humanity was reseeded, which means civilization was started from scratch approximately 13,000 years ago after the flood, at that time when the Anunnaki, there was one Anunnaki, his name is Enki, Ea Enki. He was a geneticist and he had a soft spot for humanity. So he saved some DNA samples and he reinvigorated the population using those DNA samples. But when humanity was repopulated on Earth, the DNA samples had shut off most of our faculties. And it had also clipped off most of our DNA. So we went from these very powerful godlike beings who could like perform magical feats to two-strand beings who were literally scurrying for our survival like mice. So we completely, because of these DNA disconnections, we completely lost our connection with the divine. And the way they controlled us, they after that created a frequency-controlled prison on Earth, and we'll discuss how this frequency, what are the main pillars that created this frequency-controlled prison. But for the last 25,000 years, humans have been in an invisible prison. We're trapped in reincarnational cycles on Earth. We cannot even escape even after we die. All that's changed now, but this is how it was until now, very recently. And humans were basically trapped in this frequency-controlled prison, and we could not move out of here. And only now, after so many centuries, the light is actually coming back in a very strong way, and we're transitioning into a new age of enlightenment. So now it's going to be a completely different story, but we're going to explain how we got from those dark ages into the age of light.
And for some, are you guys familiar with all of this? How familiar? How did that land? Are you guys like, yeah, we already know all of this, perfect? Because some people are like, where's the evidence? We're not going to answer questions that are asking for evidence because most of you already know about these things.
You have to do your own research. There's a lot of evidence out there. We've done our own research on this.
But let's focus on, I want the ones who are already in the know to really absorb this, because I want you guys to absorb that 25,000 years ago, we were all in Atlantis doing major work. And then because the majority of humanity got greedy and power hungry and all of that, it is we, the humans, who partnered with the Anunnaki, and that's why the higher realms cannot do anything. We're going to talk about why didn't the higher realms intervene. We're going to talk about all of that in this video. We're going to talk about how did God let this happen? How did God let this earth, that was such a heaven on earth, be transformed into this frequency-controlled prison? How did God allow our 12-strand DNA, like God DNA, clipped by the Anunnaki, down to a 2-strand DNA. Why would God allow that? Why would the galactics allow that? We're going to cover all of that. So right now, the important thing for you to remember is 25,000 years ago, the light lost the battle. The galactic battle that was lost, the light lost it. You know why? Because it wasn't time. There was also other reasons, because karmically, human beings, humanity, they're what created this whole situation. So prime creator God, the galactics, allowed this whole story to play out until now. And now we are coming to a completion of this dark cycle, the Kali Yuga. And we're now entering a new cycle, which is the age of Aquarius, the golden age, the era. It's not like it's going to happen now in this year. We're already in the energy, but for the next 25,000 years, for the next several thousand years, we're going in this energy of ascension, excitement,
reconnection
love,
with divine,
unity consciousness. And all of this is our very curriculum right now. So basically, what has happened is that we have 8 billion people living on the planet right now. But not many of us realize, and many, many, many millions are awakening every day, really, every month, realizing the enormity of this and how we are all stuck in the Matrix. The Matrix is a very real thing. It's not just a movie. When they created the movie The Matrix, with Keanu Reeves, that is disclosure, because the dark also has this agreement that they cannot just silently do these things. They have to kind of reveal it in Hollywood movies and say, hey, look, we're telling people they're living in a Matrix, but they don't get it. So the Matrix is actually a reality. And humanity didn't realize that we would be enslaved without even realizing we're in a freaking prison. So we're going to talk about the signs that the Matrix is collapsing next, but let's go into how exactly did they turn, we'll go through this fast because we have a lot to cover. How exactly did they turn Earth into a frequency controlled prison? So what they did was they manipulated the Earth's grids in a very major way. During the times of Atlantis, there was many really powerful pyramids, a lot of sacred sites, a lot of
temples,
stargates, a lot of temples that were literally holding the energetic grid of planet Earth alive and taking us into a very powerful ascension cycle. We were doing white magic, angel magic. We were traveling interdimensionally through stargates. We had all these beautiful ceremonies and temples of healing, temples of sound, temples of advanced astral travel. It was a very galactic, it was a very beautiful heaven on earth society. Now, what they did, the Matrix, what the negative Anunnaki, the dark ones, did to destabilize Earth grids since Atlantis is that they destroyed most of the pyramids of planet Earth. They destroyed most of the sacred sites. They also implanted with dark programming all the Stargate portals and also all of Earth's chakras. And many of you guys are aware of the work we did in Glastonbury in Stonehenge this past Lion's Gate. Siman and I were guided to host an event there. Last minute, they said, you need to go there now. In 2 months, we whipped up this event on a Google Sites webpage. We didn't even have time to create a website. You guys know this. And 75 of you from all over the world said, we're coming to help you guys. And many people bought tickets and came to Glastonbury. We went to Stonehenge and we reversed one of these negative implants, which we call the Niburian diodetic implant, which was not allowing Stonehenge to be a Stargate portal connected to the light because of its reverse spin. So not only did we stop the reverse spin, not only did we remove the implant with the higher realms that came in, we had a lot of higher support. We had a spaceship above us literally helping us, beaming these frequencies to us. Once it stopped, we and all of the 75 Lightworkers, we channeled these fire codes from our soul. I won't get into that now, but we channel this, and through our collective intent and our collective light and our collective commands, we changed the spin into a positive spin. And we literally, in our third eye, we saw this gush of light in Stonehenge and rainbow frequencies. Literally, we have a video of someone describing exactly what we saw. So many people saw it. What else did they do? They created an inverted energy grid. They created like a black magic network around planet Earth. And the way they activated it is that they said, you have to remember that the dark is cut off from the light. You and I can go out in the sun and get light. We can get all the light codes and be connected to Prime Creator. The dark have cut themselves off from God. So what is the food for the dark? What is the fodder for the dark? What fuels up the dark? What fuels up the dark is the negative energy of pain and suffering and fear and hate and envy and addictions and toxins and all of that negative energy of human beings, stress, is collected in a ball called the Loosh energy, and that is the primary source of fuel for the dark ones. So what the dark has done is they've converted this whole planet called Earth into a dark frequency controlled loosh creating system, a mechanism of creating loosh, because like Siman said earlier, gold is not as much of a resource for them as our loosh energy. So what they've done is they've literally amplified all these frequencies through negative brain programming. Even like we were watching a show yesterday on TV and we had to turn it off right away, because even simple shows, like this was a funny show, it wasn't even a bad show or a violent show, but we can't even watch those. Why? They had this scene where this guy is coaching others how to pick up women in a bar. And it's an older movie, but this is how they program people. There's no divine feminine frequencies. It's like, hey, girls speak this way. Like somebody asked the girl, would you sleep with him? And she's like, yeah, I would sleep with him. What are they teaching girls of today? What are they teaching the youth? That, oh, you can sleep with anyone. You can just do this and you can go pick up multiple girls in the bar every day. So and they also, if you notice, this is actually all truth bombs, guys. If you watch a lot of these shows and TV shows, you'll see people smoking, or anytime they need to celebrate, they pick up alcohol. This is all negative programming.
Or they're eating pizza.
Yeah, or exactly. They're eating
pizza.
They're
never eating like a green smoothie.
In fact, in Hollywood, they have like a written agreement with I don't know who, that they have an agreement, they have a charter. They have to follow this charter that they have to actually negatively program the population, and they have to hit off enough points, otherwise they won't be allowed to release their videos. It is bad. It is really, really bad. What else? DNA manipulation. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So like I said, in Atlantis, we had our 12 strands of DNA activated, and that's where humans are going again. Guys, this is, I want you to really absorb this. This is more than just words. When we go back to our 12-strand Adam Kadmon potential, do you have any idea what kind of power we carry within this human vessel?
I want you to
we
really
have not
absorb
even
this.
activated even 1% of our potential yet. This is what the dark ones are afraid of. This is what the whole war is about. It's about stopping humans from becoming the powerful godlike beings that we are, from becoming the Christos Sophia guardians of this planet, from becoming the Adam Kadmon angelic human beings who are the sovereign protectors of planet Earth. So when we activate our 12-strand DNA, our Adam Kadmon template, you know what happens? We can have such a clear connection with the divine that we can literally create miracles, spontaneous miracles. Having your 12-strand DNA active means you have all of your 12 galactic chakras activated. And we can go beyond the 12 chakras. This is just the beginning. We're going to be able to eventually, in a couple of decades, for people who are starting their work now, within a couple of decades or even sooner, we'll be able to teleport. We'll be able to produce things out of thin air by like a miracle.
But you know,
Yeshua did that.
But you know, Siman, I really want to, when sometimes when we say these things, it's like, oh, teleport, sure, okay, all right. But you know what the real transmission coming out of my heart is? Most of us, and this can make many of you emotional, most of us have forgotten that we are in a frequency controlled prison.
Yeah.
Most of us have forgotten that our whole life's purpose, our whole life's existence, all of our focus are all on the wrong things. Like yesterday, 2 days ago, we had a healing session. It was one of the most powerful healing sessions ever. It was her second or third time seeing us, because we've been on such a roll with her. And we literally took away all her distractions. Her distractions were like, oh, where am I from? Where am I from? Am I from Sirius B? I have a feeling I am. And all the questions were not important. The important questions were what we focused her on, which is her soul's evolution. We channeled her guides. And right now, what I want you all to remember is that we have been, against our wish, against our will, cut off from our galactic soul family. We've been cut off from God. We've been cut off from the higher realms. And this, to me, is more important than anything like teleportation or
exactly.
anything. It is the journey home.
Absolutely.
We are literally, after 25,000 years, and you know why I'm speaking with a little bit of emotions choking up? Because I cannot wait to meet my family. The families on the other side of the fence, they miss us. They miss us, and they're supporting us through so much pomp, like, splendor and bells and whistles right now, because they miss us as much as we miss them. We may not even realize how much we miss them. If you think you love your earth family, you have no idea how much you love your real family, which is your star family, your galactic family, your real soul mother, your real soul father, your real soul sister. They're all in the higher realms, like so this is really what this is all about. It is time for every single one of us to sharpen our focus, clean up our act, stop playing small, literally avoid focusing on all these boyfriends and relationships and calling these useless drama relationships love. You know how many people tell us, oh, we're in love, it's okay, he's a kind man. I'm like, what do you mean he's a kind man, this is love? That's not love. Being a kind man, oh no, it's okay, he pays half my bill, it's fine, I love him. That's not love. So anyway, the intention is, I really, really want you guys to remember that we are on a mission here, and we're going to get into that in a little bit, on what our mission is here. Why did we get here? What are the next steps for us to take? How do we get out? How do we get back home? How do we leave this planet,
How do we reverse all the damage?
Yes, so that's really what we want to talk about.
So just to recap, they created this frequency control prison by cutting off our DNA strands. So I'll give you an example. What happens if you, God forbid, someone is tortured and they take away their eyesight, they take away their hearing, they take away their smell, and they cut off their tongue so they can't taste. God forbid. That's a horrible example, but that's similar to what happened to humans. If somebody loses all their senses, they're basically their body becomes a prison, because their soul's trapped in the body. They cannot enjoy life. They cannot sense what's out there. They're literally trapped in their prison of their body. So think of the same thing. The Anunnaki and these negative ETs did that to humanity, but instead of our 5 senses, they left our 5 senses intact, because they wanted us to think, oh yeah, we have everything we need. We can see, taste, hear, smell, and touch. But we have so many higher senses that allowed us to connect with the source. And when they cut that off, when they cut off our ability to evolve and ascend, Earth became a prison. And the next point, not only were the souls trapped on Earth and they couldn't evolve, they even had a reincarnational trapping system on the moon, so that when a soul dies, it was trapped inside a very complex advanced technology in the moon and sent directly back. So souls were trapped in endless cycles of reincarnation.
Did you guys get that? So in the higher realms, in the higher dimensions, in the way it's supposed to be, before Earth was quarantined and cut off. So when all of this happened, what we forgot to tell you was 25,000 years ago, when all of this extreme, the galactic war took place between light and dark, and the negative factions, the negative Anunnaki, the dark ones, the Cabal, the deep state, whatever you want to call them, when they got control of our planet, what happened was planet Earth was cut off from the higher realms. Planet Earth was quarantined from the higher realms. So it's almost like an umbrella has been placed over us, saying Earth is too volatile, because if these Anunnaki people decide to just explode the planet, we don't want the whole universe exploding. We need to protect our universe and all the harmonic universes thereafter. So we're going to quarantine Earth, and we're not even sure. 25,000 years ago, the Galactic's prime creator, they said we're not even sure if Earth is ever going to ascend. Okay, we're not even sure if Earth is going to make it.
Yeah, it got really bad on planet Earth. Yeah, so they set up monarchy. They divided us in nations, races, languages. So humans would constantly fight over land. They instilled greed and control into us, and the final way they imprisoned us was by filling our bodies with toxins. So you know how they promote alcohol and all these poisons and all these toxic substances and really bad 3D foods that just clog up our chakras? That further makes us, these toxins that we're ingesting from our food, act like veils of illusion. So we're buried on Earth in multiple layers of illusion.
So just so you understand that, Siman said something very powerful. He said, these toxins that we are ingesting every single day. So I have a little bit of very light makeup on. Everything on my face is organic. Everything on my face except my eyeliner, which I have to get something organic. Everything is organic. and I'm trying to go as organic as possible. I'm still not there 100%. Like household chemicals, your laundry detergent, the perfume you use.
Your hair dye.
In fact, when people come to House of Ra, we tell them, please don't wear perfume, like use essential oils, because these perfumes, they block off our pineal gland. And when you block off your pineal gland, you don't have connection to the divine. But Siman said something very powerful. He said, and I want you to absorb this, and because this is the truth, this is what we do in Metatronic quantum healing. This is how we have healed ourselves. These toxins that they have suggested we ingest because of, who owns Starbucks and McDonald's and all the shittiest places on the earth that offer fast food, that offer junk for humans to eat? Who owns all of these? All of these are owned by Cabal members. All of these people have a written agreement that we are going to inject humanity with really shit food. They don't eat this. The elite, the higher society people, they eat very, very high frequency food. They know how by ingesting shit, they're actually really, really lowering their frequency. But what did Siman say? He said, these toxins are like veils of illusion for the soul. You know how that works, guys? When you drink coffee. By the way, we've really cut out coffee. Like that was a big addiction that we had. Like cappuccinos was our addiction. Or, dessert, whatever it is for you, Nutella. All of these toxins, chemicals, chemtrails that we're blasting, these are like veils
shaving cream
of illusion for the soul. So it's like it's creating more and more illusions and keeping us stuck in the matrix. Another example, we just finished a major holiday season, right? What is a veil of illusion? Let's play Christmas music. So when you go into the mall, there's this na 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 na. What vibration does that catch you into? It catches you into the vibration of fantasy.
Lullaby.
It catches you in the frequency of hypnotism, right? And so all of a sudden you're like, I want to meet my friends. I want to have vodka. I want to go just drink. I've worked so hard all year. I just want to go eat pizza. They're constantly giving you tips and suggestions saying, hey, you want this, you want that, you want that. Nobody's offering you a green juice. No one's offering you like healthy food. No one's offering you a kale salad. It's more like, this is what we're going to give you, and it's really cheap. And that's how they're drugging our children. Our children go and eat shit $2 McDonald's burgers. They're being drugged. And what's happening, it's beyond the drugs, these toxins, even pharmaceutical industry. I don't take any pharmaceutical medications whatsoever, because pharmaceutical medications are also really created to drug us into a state of amnesia.
And they destroy your immune system. So
Sunblock.
You're more susceptible to disease. Basically, if there's something you're putting on your body or putting in your body, or even cleaning your home so your skin touches the floor, touches the body, if you cannot recognize the ingredients and the back of the bottle, don't buy it. If it says like coconut oil made from real coconuts, yes, that's natural. If it says xylofrickin-tolfolene, that's probably poison. That's a very easy tip.
But as we go on our ascension, we're really realizing that this matrix is a very tangible thing. Exiting the matrix doesn't happen by relocating to another country. Like, let's say you're living in America or some really dense grid. That dense grid that you're living in is keeping you in a state of density. I really want you guys to get this. When we have our events and we see Americans, for example, a lot of Americans, Australians, people from all over the world, they come to our events. And the first day when we see them, we're like, holy shit, we need to lighten their frequency. Every event, right, Siman?
Yeah.
Every event. This is standard. You know why? The first day they come, everybody is like so dense. They don't even know it, but they're like...
And I don't blame them. When I go to the USA, even we feel dense.
Of course, there's no blame here.
The grids are
it's a
really
teaching.
tampered with there.
Everybody comes with such dense energy because they're living in the city grids. By day 3, their angelic versions come out. By day 3, all of a sudden they're in their heart, they're authentic. Why? Because all it takes for you to get back into your frequency, your divine frequency, your cosmic frequency, your connected frequency to source, is a little bit of off-grid living. It's to, go into maybe some containers that have higher frequencies, to connect with the angels without all these distortions. So removing the density is our first objective when we meet anyone in our events, because of how much manipulation through frequency there is on the planet. So you might ask me this, why did the higher realms allow all of this? And after that, we're going to go into the next steps for humanity, and we're going to give you a galactic perspective. But why did you want to talk about it?
Yeah, in short, once there was the fall in consciousness 25,000 years ago, and we were trapped in this frequency controlled prison, in the galactic realms, it was debated whether they should intervene or not. But really, by karmic law, humanity had locked themselves into, literally, we, with our own decision, with our own choice, with our own arrogance, we chose that we are becoming so powerful. And this is before the fall. Before the fall, we had become so arrogant in Atlantis, in our golden age, with our technologies, that we thought we don't need God in the picture. We thought we can be the gods of this planet. And that trapped us into a 25,000 year cycle of karma.
And also threat of annihilation. Remember?
Yeah.
Basically, what the dark forces did was very clever. They have literally, this is all truth. This is not fiction. This is not science fiction. This is truth that many light workers are already in the know of. Many people like us are speaking about it. Many of us are giving you guys a galactic perspective. Siman and I are galactic channels. We're angelic channels. We have our own. We don't watch other channels. We don't give you what we've seen on other channels, because we want to keep what they tell us to share is what our channel is made of. It's not like mind-based. It's more like guidance-based. And what the dark beings did was they said to the higher realms, okay, we won the galactic war. Now because of the karma of humanity, we have control of planet Earth. If you even try to send one of your spaceships or do anything to, rescue humanity, we have cluster bombs in place all over the planet.
And these are fourth density cluster bombs, not something you can see with your physical eyes. So they had set up a whole network of fourth density cluster bombs that are invisible to the 3D frequencies. But that prevented the Galactics from doing any kind of rescue operation until very recently.
And so basically, they have held Earth and humanity hostage
Literally.
until now. We're just coming out of it now, you guys. Somebody said, I'm feeling emotional as I watched this video. And Rosa, I think was her name. I understand why you're feeling emotional, because when we talk about galactic history, and I'm telling you all to really let go of the distractions. Don't text when you watch these, because these are your higher self messages coming to you just through us, through this screen. These are transmissions, these are DNA activations, and this is what's going to trigger your journey back home. So basically, because of our collective soul agreement, humanity at a soul level agreed to experience this holographic 3D inverted matrix, to then in the 25,000 years realize what would happen if we cut ourselves off from God? What would happen if we start experimenting with the dark? What would happen if we give away our power to someone else? So all of this taking back our power, empowering ourselves, is a theme of what we've learned as a result of this holographic matrix. Now, you guys with me so far, with us so far?
How's this landing for you guys so far?
I love you guys' comments. I'm looking at Instagram, I'm looking at YouTube, Facebook. You guys are on fire today. I'm seeing so many of you connecting to this.
Someone is saying, when I talk, I know all this stuff, but when I talk about it with my family, they think I'm crazy. And I feel you 100%. But very soon, the people who call us crazy, they're going to be the minority. And we don't even have to worry about them, because we're focused on building new Earth.
Yes. So now, guys, let's switch into the actual sentimental part of this transmission. When we start realizing that amidst all our busyness and our chaos and our dense grids, wherever we are on the planet, all these fights we're having, relationships, issues we're facing, lack of abundance, whatever the case may be for you, insecurities creeping up, when you start really, oh, that's so sweet. Sandra says, can't stop tears of joy. I'm feeling it. Trust me, I'm feeling it too. I'm like feeling it in my heart. And
honestly, everyone should have joy, because we're moving into a very heaven on earth timeline within the next decade or so.
So when all of this happened, and Earth, humanity, so basically the way the galactic realms work is that they are like our fathers and mothers, the divine fathers and mothers. They love us as a race, right? They have seen us from the inception of our souls. So what they said was, we need to do something about planet Earth. We can't just let a whole planet get destroyed like this. What can we do about it? So a plan was devised by the higher realms, and we've gone into this in many previous videos, and we'll make more videos about it with new updated angles. Don't worry if you don't get it fully today. But a plan to rescue planet Earth was devised, and a call was sent out soul to soul in the galactic realm, a call was sent out. Literally, this is what the call said. Planet Earth is in danger. Humanity is in danger. We need souls that are ready to go and help this race. We need souls from all over the galaxy to help go and help this whole planet. But there is a small problem. There is a small caveat. If you go to rescue planet Earth, you need to know that you have to cut yourself off from God. You have to temporarily forget that you are connected to God.
Veil of amnesia.
A veil of amnesia will be placed over you as soon as you are born into planet Earth. And you, as a light worker, you as a 144,000 frequency holder, we're sending the call out now. This is God. Literally think about God sending out a call. Think about Prime Creator Source sending out a call saying we have to save, because Prime Creator looks at we're all his children, her children. When this call was sent saying we need 144,000 frequency holders to act as volunteers, to actually leave whatever you're doing and say, for the next several years, several thousand years, some of us will go immerse ourselves in Earth's karma. We'll immerse ourselves with tough families, with all these situations of narcissism, abuse, rape. You know how much trauma has come up actually I healed my trauma in the last 2 weeks of being persecuted in so many lifetimes. I'd always have this dream, and many of you might have the same dream, where we're always being chased. I've always had this dream of like having this little son with me or this little baby with me and running. I'm innocent, past life memory, and I'm being chased, I'm being hunted, I'm being persecuted. And all of us, whether we realize it or not, we have it in the core nucleus of our being, literally. So when this call was sent out, you, me, many of us, whether you've forgotten or not, we are the ones who answered the call. You want to continue the story?
Okay.
I
want you guys to really absorb this now. Again, you and us,
this is so...
all of us watching this transmission, and all of us who are even attracted to these frequencies, many of you are saying every cell in my body is vibrating with a remembrance.
Tara says I'm
That's
crying
because
tears
it was
of joy.
us who answered the call, you guys. We came from the higher dimensions. The reason you are attracted to this message is because this message is calling you home. This message is helping to remind you why we came here. This message is literally there to help you remember what you already know within the core of your DNA, within the core of your soul. You know who you are. You know you're one of the most badass galactic warriors of light who answered the call to save Mother Gaia, to help this planet ascend, to save our beloved brothers and sisters of humanity who have been trapped. All of these humans who are trapped on planet Earth, where did they come from? There are Pleiadian brothers. They're souls from the Pleiades. They're souls from Sirius B. They're souls from higher dimensions who somehow got trapped on planet Earth. So we're all one galactic family of the light. And we cannot just ignore the suffering of our brothers and sisters. Of course, we said we'll jump in. And the plan to rescue, the galactic plan to rescue planet Earth is known as the Emerald Covenant. And the Emerald Covenant is a agreement made by all the councils of light and all of the light workers, as well as humanity on a subconscious level, as well as Mother Earth, that we will once again restore Gaia to her perfected state. We will once again come and reverse all the damage done to the grids. We will reverse all the black magic. We will remove all the implants. We will clean up all of the oceans. We will remember who we are. We will get downloads for advanced galactic technology templates to clean up all the damage that's been done. And we will once again restore this planet. And my friends,
I love how Elle says, yes, what the fuck, we jump in. Yes, we jump
all
in.
Jump in.
Because we are the souls, we are the frequency holders, we are the pure ones, we're the giving ones. We're not the takers saying, let someone else go do it. We're the ones who said, we'll go immerse ourselves. We're all from ascended planets.
We don't sit on the sideline and watch the show. We are the show.
Because
we're
of
the main
love.
Characters of the show.
Because of the love we have in our heart. That's our highest currency. We've come to rescue humanity. We're not one of them. When I say we're not one of them, what I mean is we've come to rescue a race that is stuck on this planet.
That has forgotten who they are.
And we have immersed ourselves and we walk amidst humans but we are not humans. We are activated at a higher level.
And many of you resonate that you don't belong to this planet. You'll think like I'm here, but I'm not from here. I have memories from other lifetimes from other planets, and that's you because you're not from planet Earth.
So currently there's about 200 million star seeds, we've been told, from the higher dimensions incarnated on this planet. 200 million. However, most are dormant, most are inactive. So a lot of your family members, even, like you might have, I wouldn't say your parents' generation, like from the 1950s, all of us, we've been incarnating since the 1950s, immersing ourselves in all of Earth's karma to understand. So this is what we've done. We've said, okay, we're going to forget that we are God. We're going to forget everything. We're going to go into Earth's karma, get stuck in this matrix. Yes, we're going to eat, for the first few years of our life, we're going to eat the fast food. We're going to have low insecurity. We're going to have ego. We're going to be all about amassing wealth. We'll do all of that. But very soon we trust that somehow we will find each other. We will find each other, and we will somehow be connected to the right YouTube channels or to the right events or to the right teachers or to whatever. And all of us, like Siman and I, we were connected to our soul mission. Our soul mission is we are teachers of the Ascension. We are blueprint holders of the Ascension. We are blueprint holders and architects and visionaries of New Earth. That's our divine soul mission. And so many of you are now going to be activated to your soul mission. But the fact of the matter is, most are still dormant at varying degrees. Most are still too dense. Most of you are still too busy in your 3D lives, in your materialistic lives, because your family is there, your comfort zone is there. But now you're being asked to do what you came here to do. You're not here to spend the next 5 million years here. You're not here to spend the next thousands of years here. You're here to get your work done and get out. You're here to get your work done and ascend out of this planet. And this lifetime is that tunnel. This lifetime is that very opportunity for us to not constantly keep getting stuck in the reincarnation trap and coming back to planet Earth, but doing something about it to make our lives so meaningful that we become the avatars and the embodiments of the way shores of New Earth. And we're going to talk in this video and future videos on how you can even do all of that. That is our whole curriculum. And what else?
So I want to remind people that it's very important to understand this. One thing is that we're all incarnated on this planet, 200 million light workers. Whoop-de-doo, right? Like, it's not time to celebrate yet, okay? I want to drive this point home very clearly, you guys. It's not time to celebrate just yet. Just the fact that we're here in a human body, that's only 10% of the job. Now the rest of the job is ahead of us. There's a lot of curriculum for light workers to raise their frequency and once again embody the 144,000 atom Kadmon frequency. And that comes with a lot of curriculum. Most light workers are just beginning their curriculum in 2025. That's why we call 2025 the year of transformation. This is the year where we literally begin the work of activating our 12-strand DNA, harmonizing our ego, activating our hearts, and remember that we are here as guardians of this planet. We're literally here to reverse all the damage that's been done to our environment, chemtrails, oceans, lands, grids. There's so much work to be done. And the thing that planet Earth needs the most right now is leaders who are dedicated to their self-mastery.
Yes.
That's step one. We all have to step
say
into
that
our...
again.
The biggest favor you can do for yourself and for humanity is to dedicate your life to your self-mastery and raise your frequency to the highest potential possible so you can once again activate your Christed gifts, your Christos Sophia divine blueprint that's dormant within your DNA. And this is why the Galactic blueprint for Ascension gave us the download of House of Ra Ascension Festival. The House of Ra Ascension Festival is not just like a music festival where you come to dance and have some good times. That's obviously the case. We have a lot of fun, but we really get to work at House of Ra Ascension Festival. This is like a mystery school. It's a launching pad. So people who arrive at House of Ra, our main objective is to get you guys ready for your soul's mission. And the entire festival comes with a curriculum. So all the things I listed out, This is part of our curriculum: how to activate your DNA, how to open your heart, how to harmonize your ego, how to go from your mind, which is logic based, and access your higher wisdom. All of this is going to be part of the transformation that we've designed for you guys.
And I'll talk about House of Ra in a second, but you know what? What they also told us, the Galactics told us this in the past week, that collectively we've been able to raise the frequency of the light strong enough that the ascension of planet Earth has been guaranteed. We've told you this many times in the last 2 years. We've been guaranteed that the ascension is guaranteed. There's no like, will we ascend, will we not ascend, will Earth explode? No, we're safe. However, here's the caveat. This is what they told us yesterday. This is what we had forgotten about. Because we're like just focused on what we're doing. But they're saying, no, Siman and Eldora, you can't do this by yourself. You need more people to activate that Christed frequency. You need more people to activate the 144,000 frequency. Here's why. Here's the caveat the Galactics, our guides, our angels just gave us yesterday for this video. The ascension can only be carried out when enough light workers activating the 144,000 frequency within us. We have to activate, enough of us have to activate a 144,000 frequency, because you know what's going to happen, you guys? When enough of us become walking Christ, like Yeshua was a Christed being. Many people think Yeshua is coming back to save us, but he's not. What Jesus did, what Yeshua did for us out of his unconditional love, he was that person who came. Like, you know how you and I came as volunteers? Yeshua came in darker times, in harder times. He did horrifying, he was subject to horrifying things because he came as the Son of God to lay the blueprints in the Christ consciousness grids for the ascension of humanity, so that that Christ consciousness grid literally is a dodecahedron surrounding planet Earth right now, that's holding the Christ consciousness frequencies superficially in place. But we, the 144,000 frequency holders, are literally sitting here and we're saying we're activating this frequency within ourselves now. Siman and I have activated it. And now, because we are activating it, 2 light bulbs have gone off. Many of you will start activating it, more light bulbs will go off. And once enough of us have activated this Christed, this 144,000 frequency, which is the next step, it's not in the future. If Siman and I have done it over the last 10 years, we only had our awakening 10 years ago, in 2012 when we met. If we've activated this, and don't be fooled by how we look or how we speak or how we swear, we are actually operating octaves above humanity. We are in a different consciousness. We're in a different octave compared to anyone we know personally. But all that means is you activate your unconditional love for humanity. You activate your compassion for humanity. And when enough of us have activated this 144,000 frequency, what's going to happen is it's going to trigger what we call the great solar flash. This great solar flash can't get triggered with all of us asleep. We're going to be like, oh, someone's...
It's going to blow out our fuse if it triggers before we activate. Basically, the second coming of Christ is the activation of the 144,000 light workers. And that doesn't mean 144,000 of us have to activate. It means we have to reach a certain critical point where we pass the critical mass of the frequency needed to trigger the solar flash. And until light workers step up to take their positions, the ascension can take 1 decade, it can take 2 decades, it can take 3 decades. So guys, that's why we said in the beginning of this video, don't just wait for the news and watch with your popcorn. There's a lot of work for us to do. We have to step up and really take action now.
And I love one of your cheeky comments. Somebody just commented and I caught a glimpse of it and said, amazing, Eldora is back. I truly feel I'm back.
Yeah.
Guys, you know what
She's
healing
back.
I went through? I had a deep hurt towards humanity. I had a deep sadness in my heart. And many of you may go through this deep. Siman had it too. We both had it. He just healed it faster or earlier than me. And recently, all of that came up. When I realized why I'm here, who I am, why I have come to this planet and what I'm here to do, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get caught up in this hurt that I feel for how much suffering I have endured on this planet. I was subconsciously in that state of disconnection because of my deep hurt. And I have had some very, very, very torturous lifetimes like you have. And so anyway, I've healed all of that, which is what you're seeing in me. Absolutely, I am back. Now let's get into, and this is a very important part of the transmission. We want to really give you guys the map. We want to give you the ascension blueprint of how do you get from where you are to all these major things we're talking about, like Adam, Cadmon frequencies, 12-strand activated DNA. You're like, what? How can I go from my 3 or 4-strand DNA? So let me put it this way. Let's say your family members right now are in a 2-strand activated DNA, 3-strand. They're completely asleep. They're like, they laugh at you. They're like, what is this nonsense you're talking about? This is bullshit. It means their DNA is really dumbed down. Now, let's say you're kind of like slightly activated. You've started understanding spirituality. You understand the galactic history. You're working on your ego a bit. You're making sure you're not getting triggered. You're owning your shit. You're not going into lower emotions like insecurity or like greed and ego and power and control and envy. You understand, oh shit, I'm envious. I need to heal it. So you've started working with the light, correct? That's what makes you a light worker. Now, many of you are operating in, let's say, DNA strands 3 active. Some of you more advanced light workers might have DNA strands 4 active. Now, what we are going to give you is the journey. This is something that is very important. So we want to really give you guys this transmission in the most direct, honest way possible. Because like Siman said, House of Ra Ascension Festival is not something we created out of our head. It was given to us by the entity called Ra, who is a 6th density collective of, they channel through us, and many of you, we're all children of the family of one. We're all children of the law of one. And so Divine Mother, Ra, Yeshua, who is Jesus Christ,
Isis, Melchizedek.
These are the main, people who channel through us and give us the frequencies of House of Ra. Now, why is House of Ra so important? Why is House of Ra so important to the Galactics? Why is it such a... In fact, we, Siman and I, we have to raise our frequency to meet House of Ra. It's not like, oh, we can do House of Ra at any frequency. Why is it so important? So I'm going to tell you exactly what we do at House of Ra and how we activate people. We've been doing this for 10 years now, but House of Ra was born 3 years ago. We've seen miraculous transformations, but this is how we do it. The pillars of House of Ra are exactly, we get the pillars from the higher realms. The pillars of House of Ra are exactly tied in to the ascension of humanity. The pillars of House of Ra, the Christed frequencies bombarding into House of Ra, the activations of House of Ra are literally designed to take people like you from America, from Europe, from Australia. You're in dense city grids. Some of you are not in happy relationships. Some of you are in jobs that don't resonate. You're ready to activate your next level of mastery. Many of you are geniuses. You're leaders. You're powerful visionaries. You know you're here to leave a legacy, but you don't know how to do it. You see all these business coaches, but they're themselves stuck in the matrix. Many of them are 4D consciousness, and many of you can recognize that. You're like, shit, how do I do it? This goes very deep in light workers. Light workers are feeling abandoned right now. At a subconscious level, when we do quantum healing, we see this. Light workers are feeling abandoned by God. You know why? Because they don't know how to get back home. They don't know how to get back home. Now, Siman's in my very blueprint. Siman more than me. Siman's main blueprint, and I'm like next in line, like I'm his commander-in-chief if he's the whatever that word is. We have the blueprint in our DNA because Siman had a walk-in when his higher self walked into him, like it felt like Ra, walked into him in 2017. We made videos about that. But since then, he went through a 2-year integration in bed. He was bedridden for 2 years till 2019. And that walk-in came with the blueprint of the ascension. It has in its DNA the blueprint of the ascension, which means we know how to get home. We need not only know how to get home, we know how to get humanity out of this loop that we're in.
Frequency control.
So what are some of the pillars of House of Ra? How do we do it? Let's explain. So one is we put ego training in practice. Many of you know about ego training, but have you guys ever actually been given an opportunity to come to an event with, loving spiritual teachers who are like easy and fun-loving and authentic and whatnot, to actually say, hey, when you're together now with all of your soul family, you guys are going to practice your boundaries. You're going to practice not over-speaking. You're going to practice humility. You're going to practice non-judgment. You're going to see where are my triggers coming up. You're going to heal them. So we create House of Ra into a mystery school because ego harmonization is one of the most important things in our soul's curriculum into activating our 144,000 frequency. When the ego is active, the higher self cannot come in.
And Eldora and I have been receiving our mastery ego training from the Galactics over the last decade. And we have, we're even going to create a mastery course for the ego, but we are at this point specialists in the ego. And somebody in our last video asked, what does it mean that you've mastered the ego? Isn't it not true that while you're in a human body, you still get triggered? So let me explain that to you. To master your ego means that your life is ruled by your higher self and not by your lower urges. It means that you are aligning your will to divine will and you're showing up in service, but it also means that you have so much mastery over all the faculties of your life, and you have, once you harmonize your ego, your spiritual gifts just skyrocket, and you have so much mastery that abundance starts flowing in. You start getting direct guidance from the higher dimensions because your ego's out of the way. You start to channel your higher wisdom so you know exactly what you came here to do and how to do it. And the universe just starts opening door after door after door. But many light workers who are stuck right now, they're saying, where's my soul mission? And we say, well, you have to complete this training. Step one is go over the ego training and harmonize it. And
Actually,
ego is a very tricky topic. It has a lot of nuances.
It is the most tricky topic. You need sometimes need a few lifetimes just for ego, but we're here to say you can do it all in this lifetime. You can do it in 10 years.
When you
can
have
do
the
it in
right
5
teachers,
years.
you can do it very fast.
Yesterday, the lady who we saw 2 days ago, we saw this lady for a one-on-one healing, like I said. Her biggest question was, what is my soul mission? So this is how we showed it to her in her timeline, because we read directly from the Akashic records. In our healings, we're literally channeling her guides. We said, okay, so imagine this is the palace door, and your divine mission is here, and you're standing here, right? You're in an unhappy marriage. You're not empowered. You're not doing anything. You're booking us back to back, but instead you're not saying, let me empower myself and learn how to heal myself through Metatronic Healing. Healers Academy. Let me empower myself and go to House of Ra and get these frequencies so I'm not always dependent on you. I said, you can't be dependent on us and then expect to align to your divine mission. So I said, imagine the palace gates are here. Okay, this is your divine mission. These are your palace gates and you're here. In order for you to get from here, open the palace gates and get in and activate your divine mission, these are the very pillars that you need to activate within yourself. So ego harmonization is everything, including empowering yourself, learning how to deal with not only your insecurity, but also your affluent ego, like, oh, I'm the shit. So it's all about.
Your intelligence can also be your ego. Your power can become your
money
ego.
Can become your ego. I say this with a lot of respect. Your
money. Disease can become your ego.
So ego is a big thing. Now, in House of Ra, we literally, everything, so we have one of the pillars as ego training in practice. We also have heart activations. One of the biggest things humanity needs right now is to move from the head to the heart. The head can only take you so far. It can only be intelligent with business and the head's intelligence is very limited. It's very obsolete. It's very archaic. It's very linear.
And slow.
The heart's wisdom, holy shit. Okay, what do I mean by heart's wisdom? Siman and I, we're blown away every single time. Like, we'll just say, oh, we're doing House of Ra. We're going to launch House of Ra on this date. And something will happen and we'll get delayed. And we'll get delayed and we'll realize, holy shit, we just launched House of Ra the day of solstice. We didn't plan that. The head would plan it. Like, let's plan around a powerful portal. The heart is just in flow. And somehow the heart's flow is like easy, surrendered, childlike. Feminine, easy. And that flow creates abundance. It creates miracles. And this happens to us every single time. And many of you may be like, how do I get from where I am to where I want to be? Activating your heart is one of the biggest things we do in House of Ra, because guess what? On day 1, your heart will expand. You don't even have to wait till day 5 at House of Ra. Why? As soon as you come into our energy, as soon as you come into our containers, we create an energy so specifically based on unconditional love, where we're ourselves, you can be yourselves. We're in love, you can be in love. And all of you who come to House of Ra are like renegades of the 144,000. You guys are like soldiers of the 144,000 frequency, helping each other, activating each other to get our missions done so we can activate humanity and do what we're here for. So it becomes
when we come together in such powerful containers like House of Ra, the Lightworkers activate each other through each other's codes. That happens so much.
Did you guys hear
that? The Lightworkers activate each other because we all need each other's codes, you guys.
What does that mean? Let's say one of you is really feminine and you're like so good at writing Cabal and Sage, but you don't have like masculine training of how to speak up, how to be bold. We literally have sharing circles where you guys can, if you're too yin, we teach you how to be yang. If you're too yang, like let's say you speak a lot, you don't listen. We teach you in this festival, maybe you listen more, you activate another faculty. So by doing this, we bring heart, head coherence in a very tangible, there's a few people who do this heart, head coherence, but it doesn't resonate with me because it's being done in a very head way. Do you know what I mean? It's like, let's activate heart, mind, heart, head coherence, but it doesn't resonate with me because to do that, you have to be in that frequency of divine masculine, divine feminine. If you're not in that frequency, how can you give someone else a heart expansion? So being around soul family, being around people who get you, who don't judge you, who in a safe container, we're fully sober. House of Ra is fully sober. There's no alcohol, no drugs. It's non-negotiable, which is why it's one of the highest portals.
It's one of the highest frequency portals on earth, to be honest.
What else is another pillar of House of Ra? Yeah, it's the highest frequency we know of on earth. Honestly, guys, this is like, if you knew, like I said to the lady we saw 2 days ago, okay, I'm going to say this to you. This is this is like a high level coaching. Ready? I say it out of my unconditional love, and I know you know that. This is how I talk to myself. This is how Siman and I talk to ourselves. I said to this girl, and she got so fired up because I became her ascension coach out of my love 2 days ago in her healing. I said, you're going through life as a human. Your personality is dictating your entire life. What if you just assumed for a moment that 4 months from now, you would pass away, you would die? And she's like, I said, yeah, think about it for 1 second. That changed her whole life. That was the most powerful part of the healing. Even though we removed entities, we removed implants, we activated her Kundalini flow, we did so much ancient work. I said, what if tomorrow you pass away? What has your soul done in this lifetime? Your soul's not going to take the money you have in your bank account. Your soul's useless unless it's gained something. Like your soul's like, hey, you went to learn this. You went to evolve your soul. You went to activate your abundance. You went to activate your leadership. You went to harmonize your ego. What have you done? As soon as I said that, I'm not even joking. This is a true story. We cut off like the call, and in 5 minutes, I saw her, she bought a ticket to one of our events coming up immediately. And that means she got the transmission, because that was my only intention. It was for her to realize how unempowered she was being versus where her soul wants to go. Now, another pillar of House of Ra is we activate your higher chakras. Oh, something I forgot to tell you earlier. Oh, someone asked, what about the mushroom last year? This is not relevant, but yeah, we had a plant medicine mushroom ceremony last year. We did powerful work with the mushroom medicine. In the future, we may also bring in other plant medicines. But at House of Ra specifically, there's no medicine. We are all 100% sober. Every container is different. Plant medicine we do with a smaller group, like 20 people, and we can.
It's a different container.
It's a different container. So one of the things I forgot to tell you earlier, tell them, Siman, about how they cut off our higher DNA.
Yeah.
And they also cut off our chakras above our heart.
Okay, so this is how it works. Basically, we have 12 strands of DNA and 12 chakras that are associated with each strand of DNA. When these Anunnaki negative beings cut off our DNA, the effect that had was to basically disable all of our chakras. It placed a seal on all of our chakras above the root. So above the heart. Basically, most of humanity was operating with 2 strands, which is just the root and the sacral. Mostly at that level of consciousness, humanity is going to be operating at survival. They're going to be in flight or fight mode. They're going to be literally fending for their life. They're not going to be creative and visionary and moving forward and inventing things. So we were in survival mode for a long time. So the Anunnaki, these negative beings, by cutting off our DNA, they cut off our higher access to the divine. And by cutting off our higher access to the divine, they created this invisible frequency control prison.
No, but tell them how. Basically, I don't know if you guys got this clearly. They cut off our higher DNA by also blocking. As soon as they cut off our higher DNA, they also cut off our higher chakras.
Yeah.
Meaning humanity is only activated till the heart. So our root chakras are open. Why? The root chakra, the solar plexus, the sacral, they're all survival. Survival, stress, fear, all the trauma of last few lifetimes, they're all sitting in our lower chakras. What is above the heart? The pineal gland. Like this is the throat speaking divine wisdom. Your third eye chakra is computing multi-dimensional information and translating it as channels and whatnot. Crown chakra is to really open up your 1,000-petal lotus and bring in divine harmonic frequencies. Then on top, there's the soul star chakra. There's the galactic gateway chakra, which connects you to the galactic realms. All of these chakras have been closed off. So what we do in House of Ra is a major part of our curriculum. When we say we're DNA activating, we do DNA activations, it's not something woo-woo. It's a very real thing because this is what humanity needs. This is how we activated ourselves. This is how I have gone from an overweight, 3D, completely asleep human being to an activated 144,000 Christed frequency holder in 10 years. Siman and I have both gone through these very steps. So in House of Ra, we literally start off with an angel container, angel ceremony. The angels come in very powerfully. Because why? Because this is part of our divine mission. We're saying we're here to help humanity ascend. So why wouldn't the angels come in? When you do something of this magnitude with divine intention to serve humanity, all the angels will come for you too. It's not like they only come for us. Anyone has access to the angels once you heal yourself, once you heal your ego. So DNA activations.
One of my favorite parts of House of Ra is planetary leadership guardian training.
I was going to get to that next, but
Yeah.
can I finish? I'm going to finish this
go
part.
ahead.
So one of the things we do in how we activate the higher chakras is we take you on an astral travel. On the third day, it's a journey where we actually do a Christ consciousness activation. We take you through some breath work and some quantum healings and whatnot. We clear you enough and we guide you to go high up, and the higher realms can come down. We go up. So literally there's like a handshake. Okay. When this happens, you're literally absorbing. It's like you're hit, you're slapped, you're smacked with divine frequencies, and you're like, and then we
And
say,
she's saying that because many people are like feeling such a high frequency in our breath work that it literally knocks your socks off.
not just breath
It
work,
takes
it's the Christ
like
consciousness.
an hour for us to ground people after that exercise.
When we say Christ consciousness activation, we're not kidding. So
My God, our breathwork Christ consciousness activation is one of the most powerful spiritual experiences I've ever had myself and ever seen people experience. Like, it raises your frequency so much, it pumps so much light into your body that every single cell of your body is oozing light. And you're literally able to connect with spirits so tangibly that everybody's like in tears of joy. It's as if you are reunited with your soul family after so many years and you feel their love tangibly. And then most people, because they're not used to staying in that frequency, then they go back to their normal frequency. And
I want to talk about that.
But over time, because
Yes.
they've created that bridge now, over time now they have a path. So our main job is to create that rainbow bridge so it's easier for you to climb the ladder again. We shoot your soul up all the way up and then bring down the frequency, and that bridge is invaluable. That comes after, like, you have to train in mystery schools for years to be able to do that kind of stuff. But now our ascension is being accelerated and human evolution is being accelerated. And we have a lot of divine assistance. We work directly with the angels and ascended masters, and we literally experience miracles. And I'm not just saying the word miracle lightly. So, like one lady in one of our previous events, she came with cysts of tumor and cancer.
She was overweight.
She was like very overweight. Her belly was bloated, and she had cysts. She was a nurse, so she knew how this works. She, in our breathwork sessions, in our Christ consciousness activation, she literally, like when the light came into her body, she shed all of this weight. Like we could see with our third eye that she dropped a baggage.
Actually, let me tell you my version of what happened. When this light in the Christ consciousness activation bombarded her being, she sat down holding her soul family beside her, other members of her audience, and angelic doulas came. Literally, everybody in the audience saw it. Angelic doulas came. They sat right in front of her, like as if she was giving birth. And she went, and we have videos of all of this, like literally, she became our spokesperson for the next 2 years, saying, how much she shifted, because these angelic doulas came in and all of that excess weight was literally ejected out of her, and she cried because she said this is ancestral stuff that's coming out.
And when she went home, she went back to her doctor. Her doctor was shocked. He did a CT scan on her belly, and all of her tumors and cysts that have been there for years disappeared, you guys. And she showed up at another event a year later, I think.
Yeah.
And she was like at least 100 pounds lighter. At least
100 pounds in 1 year.
Yeah.
She was dancing, she had nails, she had mascara. When she first came to our event, she looked like an old...
So when we're talking about Christ consciousness and Yeshua and Ascended Masters, these are not just words, you guys. I want you to absorb this. We are working with the angels and Ascended Masters, and we are witnessing miracles.
And
if you want to witness miracles for yourself, then you have to come with faith.
Yes.
You can't come with a questioning, doubting mind, because then you're blocking yourself off for miracles.
Yes.
People who are too much in their head, they come, they see all of this, then they go home and say, oh, I'm not sure if something happened. Like, seriously, guys, there's so much work for us to do. We have to drop our expectations and drop all of these illusions.
Yes. And also, for some reason, from the very first House of Ra, and we'll talk about Gaia planetary next, but every time we are doing a House of Ra, for some reason, this always gets channeled at the last minute. So it's like it's not even in the program, but we end up doing it. Osiris and Isis and Horus come in very strong, and we do a Kundalini activation, but it kind of makes sense because the Kundalini activation is what Siman and I practice all the time in our sacred Tantra sessions. We're being guided by Isis very closely for the last 2 years, since 2022, to do these tantric light body activations as a tool of ascension. And what we're doing in these tantric light body activations is we're moving the Kundalini energy from our root to our crown. So that's what we do for people at House of Ra. We're literally moving the energy very powerfully through the Kundalini activation live from the root to the crown, moving the energy. And that is your 12D bridge back home. Your Kundalini that sits in the back of your spine, like that moves up like two serpents, that is the way, that's your 12D bridge back to source.
That's how your spirit connects from your root to your crown, and then it can get the rainbow bridge and create the source connection.
I want to talk about why we dance. So I said to Siman, I don't even know if they know why we dance. Like, do they think, oh, we're DJs, so we just want to dance? No. House of Ra is built upon 6-dimensional frequencies of Metatronic music and sacred 432 hertz music. So what does that mean? You know, all this stuff we do, we heal our traumas, we harmonize our ego, we're doing all this heavy work, we get blasted with light, we go to Christ consciousness, we do all of this stuff, Kundalini activations, sharing circles, we cry, we laugh, we hug, we open our hearts. And every night we dance. You know why? When we dance, when Siman and I do our galactic dance parties, it's a very intentionally curated set that takes you on a journey, but more than that, we infuse our music with 432 hertz Metatronic frequencies. So Metatron and the higher realms can channel through our light bodies, through the music, and the sacred geometries that you're picking up in the new earth container of House of Ra, dancing under a full moon, dancing barefoot. You look, the divine goddess and God in you has never been that activated. You're so authentic. You don't feel this authentic with your family. You're suddenly realizing this is the true me. In that frequency, you're dancing. What do you think is going to happen? I have goosebumps. In that frequency, you're literally, it creates like and we have pyramids at House of Ra. So at House of Ra, we create a pyramid. Sometimes we dance under the pyramid. All of this is creating a cathartic effect of release and integration. So we do the work and then we integrate through music. So, and this is another DNA activation. It goes very deep. It's a science that we couldn't have fabricated from our mind. It feels like House of Ra, we're still perfecting the art of House of Ra. It's got such a huge blueprint that I feel like as Siman and I upgrade, we bring in a new version of House of Ra. And this year, those of you coming this year are in for the biggest treat ever.
Yeah,
I know, I forgot to tell you guys. For those of you who haven't checked out the House of Ra website or who want to go read up on it or buy tickets, houseofra.com, HOUSEOFRA.com. Check it out.
It's in the description as well.
And you can talk about the planetary guardian. Now, this is one of the main things that we want to talk about.
Yeah, that's one of the most exciting thing in my opinion, because one of the things that planet Earth needs most right now is planetary guardians, new Earth visionaries and leaders to stand up and take our roles as the guardians of planet Earth. So for this, we have something called the Gaia land healing training. It's not a training, it's more like a ceremony,
No,
but this is where we're coaching and teaching people on how to perform land healing.
Yes.
And this is a very sacred and very important role for light workers all over the world. So what we do is every single person from our soul family from all over the world brings a bunch of quartz crystals, these like normal finger-sized quartz crystals that you get from online. Oops. Let me get my mic back.
How are you guys doing on Instagram? My God, Instagram's on fire. So you guys are on fire. We're going to wrap up soon.
Yeah,
but
so
this is so
our soul
powerful,
family
you guys.
from all over the world is bringing these crystals with them. And then we create a giant crystal grid in the beginning of House of Ra on the first day. And that crystal grid stays with us. We do all of our ceremonies, all of our light work, all of the healing in the same room as the crystal grid. So by the 6th day, with so much powerful light work, this crystal grid is charged up with 12D frequencies, right? So every quartz crystals are actually programmed, computers. Basically, they can send and receive data. So they can't just send and receive physical data, but also emotional and healing data, quantum data. Crystals are actually very magical tools. So every intention that we set for healing this planet, every single breakthrough that every participant has had is being programmed into these quartz crystals. Now these crystals become one of the most powerful crystals on this planet because of the container that we're creating. So then we perform a land healing ceremony where we all go on the
last day of the festival.
On the last day of the
festival.
In the
ocean.
We all go to the ocean. We create another container. We open up our hearts. We connect with each other. We call in the angels.
Magic.
We create a temple. And then we all put all of our intentions into the crystals and we plant the crystal inside the earth and we create a pillar of light. And we connect that pillar of light from Ein Sof. Ein Sof is like the highest realms of the higher dimensions where God and the angels reside. And we connect the higher dimensions of Ein Sof all the way down to the core crystal of Gaia. So we create a pillar of light, and
at
this
the
pillar,
physical location where House of Ra is held. And
Yeah.
we do this at all our events.
So this pillar of light now is vibrating permanently because of the crystal. Okay, this pillar of light is now vibrating these frequencies, these galactic frequencies of our prayers and activations, and they're sending healing frequencies into the land. So it's kind of like a Tesla tower, but in a different frequency.
And also because this particular venue, this is our 3rd time doing an event here. We were actually guided to go back here. You know why? This pillar of light that we've created is already so activated here. Oh, and guys, get this. The place where we're doing House of Ra is the central point of Tulum.
Yeah.
Like the city, the city
It's
is
where
divided here
yeah.
and here. So right in the middle
It's
of
the
Tulum,
junction point of
we're
Tulum.
creating this 12D bridge of light through Gaia land healing with every single one of you who comes. And every single one of you, when you leave, we're going to just take all of the crystals, distribute them. Everyone just takes a handful or 2. There's no like counting.
There's no rules.
It's just 5D, very new earth frequencies. And everybody goes back home and then we teach them what to do with them. So they become planetary guardians for planet Earth. They plant the crystals, they say intentions, they do land healing. So now what we've done is thousands and thousands of light workers have been doing this through House of Ra festivals for the past 4 years. And now we're seeing that there's enough of these House of Ra activated crystals all over the planet that just like Yeshua, what did he do? He created a Christ consciousness grid.
That's what we're doing.
Now what we light workers are doing, we're doing the same thing. We're saying we're going to activate these crystals with 5th dimensional, 6th dimensional frequencies of the higher realms. And we're going to place it all over the world, in rivers, in oceans.
And how do they help?
In pyramids, like we've put them everywhere that we can think of. The Vatican, like everywhere. And guess what? How do they help? Each of these now is creating these pillars of light, adding to the Christ consciousness grid. And this is how you are helping humanity learn the lessons you have learned. Does that make sense? When Yeshua created the Christ consciousness grid, that's what he did. He created the blueprint for the ascension.
He did all the work himself and then he put that work into the grid. So what happens is that when we plant these crystals on a subconscious level, they're vibrating in this in the population. Let's say you put a crystal and create a pillar in a dense city grid for 100 or 1,000 mile radius, depending on the size of the crystal and the potency. That crystal for 1,000 mile radius is vibrating the 5D, 6D frequencies of joy, of abundance, of healing,
Unity
of
consciousness.
connecting with our higher self, of love, compassion. And we put so much prayer for the land, for the plants, for the animals, for the ocean, that the crystals also healing the waters. And when these frequencies are going in the rivers and the waters, and let's say that becomes rain, and then the rain goes into another land and pours these blessings down. So it's like blessings are showering down all over the world.
And you know, I want to close with this, guys. I am so happy that you guys are all here with us. There's a massive momentum today on both our on all three channels that we're on, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. I just want to say this based on my own personal experience. The more light work I do, the more I align my calling to the divine calling, the more I say, money is just a piece of paper. Think about it. You can tear money, you can burn money, it's gone, right? You can blow money on stupid vacations, gold, Louis Vuitton, Chanel bags, diamond rings, 5-carat diamond rings, whatever have you. But when you die, your soul isn't taking any of that with you. When you pass from this incarnation, all you're taking is the evolution. The soul's evolution is permanent. You're leaving with, like, people are clapping, your family is saying, holy shit, you really left a dent on the planet. Holy shit, you really heard the call and you answered the call and you took things to a higher level. And I can tell you this based on our personal experience, that the more we align our will to divine will, the more we step out of our own way and let our higher self come in, the more we harmonize our ego so that more of our Christed frequency can come in. God cannot channel through you. Your higher self cannot channel through you. Your higher self is dormant right now because you're not ready to merge with your higher self. You're not even ready. When I say you, I'm talking generally. Many of you are ready in different phases. But I'll be very honest. Right now, your higher self is saying, we need you to activate more, because your higher self wants to step in and take the reins and say, let's go, divine mission. What do we do? The more you align, the more angelic support is given to you. The more blessings surround you. The more abundance you are led to. Because when your internal reality is clear, your external reality mirrors it, magnetizes it. So everything comes to you. Soul-aligned friendships, anything, soul-aligned career. Like Siman and I love, this is our job. Can you believe this is our job? House of Ra is our freaking job. Healers Academy, Metatronic Healers Academy is our job. What kind of a job is this? This is the best job on the planet. Healing, one-on-one healing.
Once you align with your soul career, it won't even feel like a job. It'll feel like the most blissful experience you've ever had.
And this is our prayer for every single one of you. These kind of events don't come often. This is our only physical event, most likely for 2025. We have no plans of another physical event unless the angels say, you're required somewhere else. We hope not, because this year we just want to do one event, because events are very, energetically
consuming.
Very. We might do online events later in the year. So take this seriously,
somebody was
guys.
asking, are children allowed?
Oh, yes. Go look at the website. Absolutely. Many children, like every House of Ra at least has 10 to 15 children of all ages. I feel like they enjoy it more when they're above 5 years old, and to about 14, 15, 16-year-olds. Teenagers love it, especially if your child is completely thinking you're a nut job, don't bring them to House of Ra. They won't like it. They're like, what is this nonsense?
Yeah, don't force them against their will.
But guys, the kids who come, they are like, they feel
they're
frequency.
Enamored usually. They come sit with us on the stage and they're like singing with us.
They don't miss anything.
My God.
And they're dancing, even babies.
The New Earth children are adorable.
They feel the frequency, and parents are shocked. The parents are saying our kids don't behave like this anywhere. They're loving this frequency. They're breathing it in. So they're getting activated too. So I love you guys so much. Enjoy your weekend. I hope you guys love this. And my intention in this video was to really activate you.
And motivate you to take action.
And to also connect you with what you're doing here on this planet and what the journey ahead is. And I hope Siman and I have done that for you, because that would be mission complete. I love you guys so much.
Take care, everyone.